I found out from TMZ literally 2 hours ago that I have been subpoenaed. I'm not crying, you're crying. You were a bad person. Truly, that was that from the bottom of my heart. I think you and Ryan are bad people. There is nobody involved. Nobody has ever been involved in making me come to that conclusion.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds believed dragging Candace Owens into court would protect their shaky empire, but it completely backfired.
So they went with this headline. It says that Perez Hilton and me were subpoenaed, and then the ... working with Baldoni?
Candace called out their fake publicity stunt, exposing that Blake leaked the subpoena to TMZ before it was officially delivered. Turns out Candace had hardly spoken about Blake in the past 5 years, and now all the deception is falling apart.
That's what it's a fishing expedition because she wants to know now who's talking trash about her. Wake up, sweetheart. It's everyone. Everyone dislikes you.
You know Blake, the woman who crafted her whole image around being America's ideal sweetheart and the wife of the internet's so-called funny guy, Ryan Reynolds. Don't worry, we'll get to his sad excuse for comedy soon. Blake figured she could march into court, toss out some fancy legal jargon, act like the victim, and somehow make people believe she's under attack from some huge plot involving online haters and YouTubers. Luckily, the universe had different ideas.
Having him tell me, okay, my lawyer, oh, you're not involved in this lawsuit. Ha, joke's on you, Noah. Joke's on you, because now you've got to read by subpoena and figure out what happens next. I mean, this is crazy times, you guys. It's like we're living in a simulation.
Enter Candace Owens, probably the last person Blake wanted pulled into this mess, because Candace doesn't follow their phony Hollywood playbook. The second Blake's legal team tried to act tough, Candace came through with receipts so humiliating they could rival Ryan Reynolds' last 5 Deadpool promos in sheer cringe.
Perez Hilton, Candace Owens, and Andy Senior have all been subpoenaed to turn over any and all communications with Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer parties.
Let's break it down, because the way Blake's so-called coordinated smear campaign completely collapsed is pure comedy gold. First off, Blake's been going around insisting that folks like Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios have joined forces to destroy her reputation. Right, Blake, because your image was spotless before all this? Never mind the fact that your stiff, robotic interviews and diva behavior were already turning into prime material for internet mockery.
That we are not going to allow her to have access to every text message and email pertaining to her and Ryan Reynolds and Wayfarer Studios because she watched me live say, now that I'm interested in this story, which my interest began on January 25th.
Apparently, this whole situation began because Blake is convinced some secret online coalition is out to get her. According to her lawsuit, Justin Baldoni, the same Baldoni involved in a $400 million countersuit, is supposedly collaborating with every influencer, reporter, and random person with an internet connection to ruin her career. And since the concept of personal responsibility doesn't seem to exist in Blake Lively's world, rather than owning up to her public failures, she's pointing fingers at the entire internet.
The judge's order earlier this month allowing Blake to take discovery in order to uncover the alleged lengths, if any, that Baldoni's side may have gone to in working with notable anti-Blake content creators as part of the alleged smear campaign.
But it doesn't end there. Blake's pulling people into her fantasy left and right. She brought on Melissa Nathan and Jennifer Al for Crisis PR, which already screams pure panic mode. And to crank the ridiculousness up another level, she dragged in some random Reddit user from Texas named Jared. Because obviously, every cringeworthy celebrity moment must be the fault of some anonymous Reddit guy, right? Now here's where it goes full comedy. Blake's paranoia has hit Olympic heights. She's demanding access to emails, texts, and any documents that mention her, including actual conversations about her hair products. Yes, seriously, her shampoo. Imagine being so obsessed with your public image that you're convinced casual mentions of conditioner are part of a conspiracy. It's giving delusional. It's giving full-blown meltdown. It's giving, I married Ryan Reynolds, so clearly my judgment's been off for a while.
Obviously, she knows for a fact that we are not going to allow her to have access to every text message and email pertaining to her and Ryan Reynolds and Wayfarer Studios because she watched me live.
Speaking of terrible choices, Ryan Reynolds' role in all this is straight-up comedy gold. Here's a guy who's built an entire brand around being the internet's charming, relatable husband, all while secretly pulling strings with TMZ to clean up Blake's legal mess. He's out here tweeting jokes about aviation gin and Deadpool, but behind the scenes, his PR team is contacting media outlets faster than he can pitch another overpriced cell phone plan. Honestly, watching Ryan try to spin this disaster is more painful than sitting through his last rom-com flop. But let's shift back to Candace Owens, because she's the real MVP in this circus. Candace explained how she actually found out about Blake's sneaky subpoena. And surprise, it wasn't through any official legal channel. It came from TMZ, naturally, the gossip machine that likes to pretend it's journalism but runs more like a reality show on an energy drink bender.
Hilton, Owens, and Senior have all used their sizable digital platforms to discuss case developments, and the trio's commentary has largely hated on Blake's claims while propping up Baldoni's side.
At exactly 2:11 p.m. Eastern, TMZ emailed Candace's PR team asking for a statement about a subpoena she hadn't even been served yet. Just imagine learning you're supposedly involved in a legal case not from the actual court system, but from the same outlet that treats Kardashian baby names like they're world-shattering headlines.
Mitchell wrote back within 10 minutes and wrote to him, "Hi Ryan, thank you. Can you send a copy of the subpoena to us? Candace has not been served. We cannot comment if we have not seen what she will be served."
Candace's team fired back within 10 minutes, calling out the setup for exactly what it was, a prearranged PR stunt by Blake's camp, likely cooked up between sips of green juice and frantic text threads with Ryan.
Candace has not been served. We cannot comment if we have not seen what she will be served. Like, obviously, somebody gave this, and by somebody, I mean, clearly this is a Leslie Sloan, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds PR strategy I've been telling you for a long time.
But the real punchline? Just 6 minutes later, yes, only 6, TMZ dropped their hit piece, packed with over-the-top drama, bogus claims, and Candace's face splashed everywhere like she's leading some anti-Blake Lively uprising. Because yeah, that's totally how legit journalism operates. They definitely managed to write, edit, fact-check, and publish an entire article in under 6 minutes. Super believable, right?
Kind of sickened by the way that you bully Justin Baldoni. Like, we read it and we feel passionate about this case, and we're teaming up in the way that every parent and mother and woman and child that has been following this just wants to see justice brought to Justin Baldoni.
Candace called it exactly what it is: fake, staged, and embarrassingly messy. Just like Blake's lawsuit. TMZ's little act is proof that Hollywood's elite will use any outlet they can to spin the narrative, even if that means turning gossip blogs into unofficial legal spokespeople. And right at the center of it all? Ryan Reynolds, the walking definition of tired Twitter jokes and overmarketed gin, quietly pulling the strings while acting like he has no clue what's going on.
So first and foremost, right off the bat, you should know what they're saying is stupid. They're putting in this piece, Popcorn Planet and Candace have been covering this lawsuit, and they have not been favorable to Blake Lively. Okay, so?
What makes this even more ridiculous is how quickly Blake's whole smear campaign theory falls apart with just a bit of common sense. She claims the internet has turned on her in some massive conspiracy, when in reality, people have been dragging her and Ryan for months simply because their overly polished, too-perfect image is about as authentic as one of Ryan's skincare ads. No grand plot necessary, just regular people finally seeing through the act. The desperation is loud. Blake's PR team leaks a subpoena to TMZ before it's even served, then rushes to shove a fake story into headlines faster than Ryan can grab his next Netflix payday. And through all of it, Candace Owens keeps exposing every insecure, clumsy, and staged move they make.
Now, I've received my subpoena from Blake Lively today. I'll tell you what is in it, because in my opinion, she's kind of admitting that she cannot prove that there was a smear campaign.
Hollywood loves to act like it's untouchable, but Blake and Ryan's carefully crafted empire is cracking fast. Between unhinged lawsuits over hair products, staged media leaks, and Ryan Reynolds desperately hanging onto his Deadpool act like it's the last shred of his identity, the whole facade is falling apart beautifully. And honestly, watching Candace swing a wrecking ball through their fake little kingdom of perfection is exactly the kind of chaos we needed. Blake Lively's fairy tale is unraveling piece by piece, and it's genuinely more entertaining than watching Ryan stumble through yet another midlife crisis disguised as a Deadpool promo. Because the moment Candace Owens subpoenaed herself live, Blake's imaginary smear campaign fantasy shattered instantly, and the receipts were brutal.